defendant remains. The rap star, along with 27 others, were arrested in May of 2022 on a sprawling 56-count indictment. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis made it clear during a news conference that her office intended to use rap lyrics as evidence of gang activity.
I think if you decide to admit your crimes over a beat, I'm going to use it. You do not get to commit crimes in my county and then decide to brag on it, which you do that for a form of intimidation and to further the gang and not be held responsible. One of the lyrics used in this indictment, just one of the lyrics, is me and my crew striking in all black. Send me the drop, we'll kick in the house. If we steal a car, we're gonna take off the tag. Well, they kicking indoors, committing home invasions, and now I'm using those lyrics that they're admitting to doing that. I'm gonna continue to do that. People can continue to be angry about it. I have some legal advice. Don't confess to crimes on rap lyrics if you do not want them used, or at least get out of my county.
Now, Williams was denied bond several times after being hit with charges related to heading up an Atlanta street gang operating under the name, or allegedly operating under the name, Young Slime Life, or YSL. Prosecutors claim the gang was responsible for committing illegal and violent acts, including murder, carjacking, armed robbery, and drug dealing. Now, jury selection began in January of 2023, taking about 8 months for a jury to be seated, the longest in Georgia state history. And opening statements began in November of 2023, with the rapper's lyrics at the center of arguments, really on both sides. His defense claimed that Williams's lyrics were protected under the constitutional right to freedom of speech. Finally, after more than a year of trial, including a series of delays, courtroom mishaps, and 3 different judges, Williams accepted a non-negotiated deal last week that sentenced him to 40 years in prison with credit for time served of more than 2.5 years and immediate release. The balance of that time would be suspended, and he would be subject to 15 years probation. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney Keith Adams, one of Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug's attorneys. Thank you so much, Keith, for being here on the show. Truly appreciate you taking out time to be with us tonight.
Great to be here with you, Michael.
All right, let's start off with that non-negotiated plea. Explain to our viewers what that means and why that was the right choice for you and the defense team.
Well, you know, a non-negotiated plea essentially means that you're not able to come to any consensus with the prosecution. You know, you have the defense, you have the prosecutor. They want one thing, we want something. We just can't get to a resolution agreement. So we put it in front of the judge. And we essentially admit to some of the allegations in the indictment, and we ask the judge to sentence us. We make a recommendation, and that's what happened in this case. To some extent, you're putting your fate in the hands of the judge because you don't know what the judge is going to do, and you can't withdraw that plea once the plea is entered and the sentence is pronounced.
So did you have any idea that this would lead to his being released from prison? And tell me, what the, you know, when I was shocked at the terms of this deal. It really is not something that you should take lightly. So tell me that. Were you aware that he would be released? And tell me about the terms of the deal, what it ultimately came down to.
We were not aware of that ahead of time. We were hoping that would be the case. That seemed to be the reasonable outcome. That's what we asked for the court to do. We asked for other conditions. You know, some things that Jeffrey does and had done for years anyway. You know, it was a difficult decision. We wanted to go all the way to verdict. We were winning this trial, and we thought we were going to win it. But, you know, the client makes a decision, and Jeffrey at one point decided, you know what, I've been in jail for 2.5 years. There's an option for me to perhaps go home today. Let's explore that option, and that's what we did.
All right, fair enough. It turned out well for you guys, that's for sure. A lot went on in this trial. It made news all the time. One of the things that went on very early in the trial, I want to take a look at it now. We have some video. A lot of the, hay was made about this, that someone in court actually gave drugs or some sort of drug transaction in the courtroom early on in the trial. You'll see here this gentleman walking from the gallery, then hands something to your client. And that was thought to be some kind of drug deal. What actually happened there, Keith?
Yeah, it wasn't a drug deal. You know, one of the problems for Jeffrey Williams is that he is an international celebrity, and a lot of folks who try to ingratiate themselves to him. He barely knew that guy. And as you can see from the video, there's a deputy right in front of Jeffrey. I'm sitting right next to him. The guy comes up to him and